Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding REM Losing My Religion. Um, we've got the letters to go through all the categories. We got translations out of the letters. We got some interesting things out of the translations. Um, we've got the numbers. We've got our numbers converted, and we've got our numbers to go through the stock market, and we got the numbers to go through finance. And now we're on genetics. So we'll get right into this. Set enough changed to set it up. That happened twice. So since the S in set enough is still over here in set it up, it didn't really go anywhere. So we'll eliminate the S. Since this I here is still over here and set it up, then we will eliminate the I. And this E in set enough is still over here and set it up. So we will eliminate these E's. They didn't go anywhere. And this U from set enough is still over here and set it up. So we will eliminate this U. And that leaves you with ADN, OGHTTP, and that happens twice. So you bring ADN, OGHTTP down twice. And then we use this chart. As you can see, A is 1, D is 4, N is 5, O is 6, G is 7, H is 8, T is 2, T is 2 twice, and P is 7, and that repeats. So your numbers then become 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 7. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 7. And once we get through this overlap, going forward, you can start coming back. And once you get through it going back, you're done. All right. So we'll get right into this. 1, 4, 5. The first three numbers ends up being MIR 145 gene, microRNA 145. And it provides instructions for making microRNA 145. So, and was this the one? Back to list. So let's go back to the list. You also have volume 145, issue 1 of Genetics, Oxford Academic. Right there, you got 145, issue 2, Genetics, Oxford Academic. So you got a few other things going on here. There just talks more about that MIR 145. Genetics of aggression right here, and there's our number. And there's more of that microRNA 145. So a few things going on with that, but we're going to move on. And next is 567, and that ends up being 567. I did this out of order. 567 ends up being beta 2 microglobulin, microglobulin. And you can see gene ID 567. And it is a protein coding gene. We've had those a lot. Also 567 is MIR 567, microRNA 567. So right here. Right there. So you got a couple things going on with that. And I told myself to go back to the list because I'm sure. Genome sequence of cultivated cotton And here's our number, 567. Evolutionary consequences of DNA mismatch. Here's our number, 567. So you got a few things going on. Regulation of nitrogen, fixation genes. And there's our number, 567, right there, right here. So there's a few things they could look up and calculate with this. You've also got courses. I swore, yeah, genetics, 567 at University of Wisconsin-Madison again. So you do have a few things going on with that. But if you move on from that, you have 678, which ends up being ZNF 678 gene. And this is the one. And it's a protein coding gene. So zinc finger protein 678. That's where we're at, is 678. If I said it wrong. ZNF 678. And somewhere it told me, oh yes, it is a protein coding gene. Right there. So you got that going on with that. Now, so then if you move on from 678, you got 782. And 782 is ZNF 782, zinc finger protein 782, right there. So you got yourself another gene here. Not much to say on that. But if you move on from that, you have 822. And 822 is part of a phone number. Genetics, Texas Children's Hospital, the largest clinical genetics clinic in the country. Texas Children's Hospital Genetics Clinic strives to stay at the forefront of, we can ignore the cerveza bug stuff. The forefront, to stay at the forefront of genetic research while offering families the latest diagnostic and clinical resources available. So you got the largest clinical genetics clinic in the country, part of their phone number. And if you move on from that, you have 227. And 227, well, you get all sorts of stuff. Mott Community College, Biology 227. BST 227, Statistical Genetics at Harvard University. So they can calculate anything at Harvard. Inherent variance of MYH associated with somatic something or other, and there's our number. It deals with mutations of certain genes. You got Molecular Genetics and Genomics, Volume 227, Issue 3. And you have a genetic linkage map of bovine genome, Nature Genetics, and there's the number right there. And so you got a few things going on with this, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. We're going to go ahead and move on to 271, which is well into the overlap. 271 is the overlap, and 271 ends up being AMPD2 gene. So AMPD2, adrenosin monophosphate Demenius, and gene ID 271. And this is a protein coding gene. So we've got those quite a bit. And that gets you through going forwards. So now we're going to come back, and you start with 722 coming back. You have Genetic and Genomic Medicine Nationwide Children's Hospital. It's part of a phone number here, 722. It's part of a fax number here, 722. And so a nationwide Genetic and Genomic Medicine Nationwide Children's Hospital. And you also have resistance to HIV-1 infection in Caucasian individuals bearing alleles of CCR, credence? No, of CCR, chemokine receptor gene, 722 right there. So you got a few things. Nationwide genomic study in Denmark. And there's your 722. So Evolution and Genetics of Populations, Volume 2. Here's your 722. Genetics of Mitochondria, 722 right there. So we could go on. Cancer genetics, and here this is part of a phone number. So that deals with cancer genetics, and we've got that before as well. So you got a few things going on with 722 that they could calculate. If you move on from that, you have 228, and 228 ends up being a lot of classes, most notably Harvard. 228, yes, Harvard University right here, genetic 228, Harvard University. Application of basic genetic discoveries to medicine, I think. You've got some other stuff here, but I think the most notable is Harvard. There's Harvard again. You got cancer genetics, volumes 228 to 229. Nonsense mutation, I don't see the number there. But you got a few. You got genetics of Parkinson's disease. There's the number right there. So, and there's some cerveza stuff that we're just not going to worry about. So, if you move on from that, you have 287. And 287 is cardiovascular genetics at Stanford, right here. Gene 227, cardiovascular genetics. You also have molecular genetics and genomics, volume 287, issue 7. Whatever's in there could be calculated. Gene regulatory variation in Drosophila. So just a few things here. The genetics of plant metabolism. There's the number, 287. You got human genetics and Science Mag, and there's the number right here. So you got a few things going on with that, but Division of Pediatric Genetics, and it's part of a phone number. Right there. Yeah, fax and phone number. So anyway, I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on that. We're going to move on to, if you move on, you get 876. That ends up being ZNF876, zinc finger protein, pseudogene, and it's right here. So zinc finger protein 876. I think I said 867, but it's 876. If you move on from that, you get back to list. Obviously, there was more. You also get gene ID 867. (876). Oh, but this record was replaced with gene ID 84. So this actually is not relevant to our search whatsoever. So maybe going back to the list wasn't that big of a deal. Genome of Epstein-Barr virus type 2 strain AG876, PubMed. That's right here. So MUSC, Children's Genetic Services. So you got a lot of children's genetic services here and clinics and stuff in this particular search. And so, yeah, you can just see there's quite a few, but we're going to move on because for time's sake. And if you move on from that, you have 654, which ends up being MFR 654. No, it was MIR 654. MicroRNA 654. So another one of those microRNA genes. And if you move on from that, you have 172, which ends up being Volume 172, Issue 2, Genetics at Oxford Academic. You also get Molecular Genetics and Genomics, Volume 172, Issue 1. Molecular Genetics and Genomics, Volume 172, Issue 2. So you get a few things. UCSC Central Catalog, Bio 17E172. Population extinction and the genetics of adaptation, not seeing my number. So that's irrelevant. Systems genetics for mechanistic discovery in heart something or other, but there it is, 172. So you get a few things there. And that gets you through going forwards and backwards in genetics. All right. Well, we'll do medical next. We're likely to run into some parts of some phone numbers and stuff again. A lot of times we do with medical. And we also will do atomic numbers with this one. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for this. I've already ran it too long. So for now, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down when appropriate. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll come out with medical next. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.